So thank you very much, Vasuji, for that introduction. It is your inherent niceness that you see in others. Thank you very much. And you have been a great source of a lot of inspiration, and the way you conduct has been a source of inspiration both here in Light of the Self as well as in our office. And Anubhava Mantapa. So Meditation Circle is the modern day Anubhava Mantapa. Really, really happy and very, very excited and honored to be part of the Anubhava Mantapa and to be part of all of you. First of all, I want to thank Vasuji, Vaniji, and their parents who have created this wonderful platform. And I want to bow down and offer my gratitude to all of them. And I want to bow down to all of you and welcome to this session. Let me share my screen, and from there I will begin. At any point of time, if there are any questions, please feel free to chat your question. That way, depending upon the context, either at the end or as it is flowing, the answers can be shared and we can interact. So before I go further, just to put a disclaimer, I am not the discoverer of any of this information or this great knowledge. I'm blessed to be part of the lineage of several gurus, and it is their blessings and it is their grace and it is their knowledge that is flowing. So let us begin first of all with chanting Omkara 3 times. Om. 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 Let us offer our respects to the self. This is a shloka from Brahmagnanavali Mala, composed by the great Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara Jyotirjyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atmajyotihi Shivosmyaham. The divine operates in each one of us as the awareness. And it is that divine which illuminates the outside world of the objects, the inside world in the mind of the thoughts. And it is the one which is in all the 3 states and beyond. So that divine awareness, that divine light of the self, Atma Jyoti, is who you are, is who I am, is who each one of us is. Shiva Swarupi. In life, we learn so many things, and among all of them, the greatest thing that we learn is Atma Jnana. And it is that Guru who removes our ignorance about being a limited being. So let us offer our Guru Vandana. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. My teacher Acharya Vinay has given this wonderful interpretation of who a Guru is. He who guides you on the righteous path is a Guru. It is not a particular person, but it can be your parent, your teacher, or a friend, an animal, or a bird, or a plant also. When they convey the message of righteousness, they all embody the Gurutva, the Guru principle. And that Guru's knowledge encompasses all the 3, the creation, sustenance, and transformation at all times. It is a creator, the divine only, walking and talking through that Guru. It is the divine that is revealed through the message of the Guru. To such a Guru is our gratitude. And as all of you know, this great Guru Parampara has been flowing eternally. And all of us are lucky to be part of this eternal flow, and especially in our Bharata Varsha. So let us offer our respect to the Guru Parampara. Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Though in the outside form, there may be consideration as if it's different gurus, but it is the Gurutva that is flowing through this lineage. So the lineages may be different, whether it is the Narayana Parampara or Sadashiva Parampara, but it is the Gurutva that is flowing to such a great lineage of all the great masters, our gratitude. And finally, I want to offer my gratitude and respects to Acharya Vinay, founder of Sevak, Society for Establishing Vishwa as a Kutumba. He has been instrumental over the last 40 years in taking the Atma Jnana to different parts of the world through his classes called as basic class and advanced class. He is involved with many institutions such as Aadhar School in Chintamani, which is for special children. There is an ashram in Doddaballapur Ghati, which has the home of the masters. And then my Sadguru, Sri Narasimha Prabhuji. In this meditation study circle, I believe Narasimha Prabhuji does not need an introduction, but still, he is the founder of Light of the Self Foundation, which is involved with taking the message of the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, through many different jnana yagnas, involved with children and adults alike in many different programs. There's a youth program called I Lead to develop the leadership capabilities. There is Gita study circles. There is Vedanta study circles. There is Bhakti related activities. There is yoga related activities. So a holistic approach to one's self-realization. As the message of the Light of the Self is Atmano Mokshartam Jagaditayacha. And Sri Prabhuji, over the last 30 years, is an embodiment of that message. He himself, every day, continues to be part of this Jnana Yagna. So all these great masters are great inspiration. So today, whatever little I am able to share is all due to the grace and the continuous effort of these great masters. So I want to offer my gratitude to them. So Anubhava Mantapa. What is Anubhava Mantapa? The word itself says Anubhava. Anubhava means experience. Mantapa, a place. What sort of an experience? The experience of the eternal self. Because the eternal self can be experienced in innumerable different ways. And that is the basis of what the great institution that Sri Basavanna created. Sri Basavanna is the instrumental force behind the Anubhava Mantapa. We have to go back to the 12th century Karnataka. The 12th century Karnataka, like any other time, had its own various sets of social, political, and other kind of life-related challenges. Especially when it comes to social challenges, lot of caste-related segregation, gender-related segregation was very prominent. And Sri Basavanna was vehemently not in tune with such practices. Through his own inner realization, he had felt that the path of the divine must be open for everybody, irrespective of their caste, creed, gender, social, economic status. It should be open for everybody. He was the minister in King Bijala's court, and it is in that time that he had created Anubhava Mantapa, a great social experimental platform. So much like the wonderful meditation circle that our Vaniji and Vasuji are running, it was that time's platform for various people to come together to exchange various spiritual and social truths. This wonderful little vachana by Basavanna embodies what we can hear in the Mahavakya as Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. All that is divine consciousness only. And what Basavanna is saying? Basavanna is saying, you conduct your life in such a way that you have no differentiation. Don't look at the others as whose is he, whose is he. Iva nammava, iva nammava. You live in life, you act in life as if everyone is part of you. So in a way, through this little vachana, Basavanna is already giving us both a sadhana, that is a practice, as well as the ultimate message. And the ultimate message being Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. There is really no differentiation to be had, because ultimately it is the otherness that creates all the tension and turmoil within our mind. It is the otherness that needs to be just removed. So through this simple vachana, he is helping us how we can remove the otherness. Treat the others. Prabhuji gives a wonderful definition of what our approach to life should be, or what dharma can be. Very simple. You treat the other like how you would like to be treated. The way you like to be treated, when you treat the others the same way, that itself opens the path to the divine. So this was the great message of Sri Basavanna. And his approach to spirituality was very practical approach, which can be summarized in the simple three phrases: Arivu, Achara, Anubhava. Arivu, right knowledge, or the truth, realization of the truth. And where can that be? In the mind, through the intellect. Arivu. Then Achara, that has to be practiced in life. How? Through the right conduct. Like how Prabhuji's phrase is for the right of the self, Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya cha. Realization of the self and practice of that in the form of service, right conduct, achara. And that gives you moment to moment the divine experience. And the experience of the divine is beyond any kind of expressions. Because when that otherness has been removed, and when the life is full of gratitude, the experience itself is so pleasant that is the divine experience, which is your experience. The other great master who was part of the Anubhava Mantapa, because today's topic is Advaita Amrita in Anubhava Mantapa. So there are three main characters I want to introduce. One is Sri Basavanna, Allama Prabhu, and a great Rishika, Akka Mahadevi. But before I go to the Rishika, I want to introduce a little bit about Allama Prabhu. So when Sri Basavanna set up the Anubhava Mantapa, he put Sri Allama Prabhu as the chairman, as the one who is the highest in the Anubhava Mantapa. Anubhava Mantapa was much like a parliament where people would come together and would exchange. But of course, like any other parliament, if at all, there has to be clarity that needs to be brought, or if there has to be some kind of a question that needs to be resolved, you need a position, you need a being who everybody respects. And that was Sri Allama Prabhu. Though Basavanna himself was an embodiment of that divine inner experience and everybody respected him, he shied away from being that ultimate. So he put Sri Allama Prabhu in that position. And Allama Prabhu was another great Advaitic visionary. So again, through this simple vachana, you can see how he expresses what really blocks us. What really blocks us from the truth, from realizing the truth. Honnu maya embaru, honnu maya ella. They say gold is the maya. Gold is the illusion. Gold is the one which creates the feeling of greed in life. No, it is not truly the honnu or gold. Hennu maya embaru, hennu maya ella. Some say it is the attraction between the male and the female. Here, hennu is being just used as a reference. They say woman is a maya, but she is not. Mannu maya ಎಂಬುವರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಹೊನ್ನು ಮಣ್ಣು. Lady, gold, and the attachment to the material things, mannu. These are the ones which are the cause of the downfall. That is how generally we think about it in society. But Allama Prabhu says, no, none of these. Realize that it is truly nothing but the desire in the mind. Because ultimately, all of these are beginning where? In your mind. So it is a desire in the mind that is truly the cause of all this confusion. So in a very simple vachana, he is bringing the clarity towards where we are getting blocked, where we are getting the illusion of the Maya. So again, Arivu Achara Anubhava, the realization of the truth and bringing out that in the practice will lead to the divine experience. So this is the context for our major discussion today. So this was the Anubhava Mantapa. It was set up in Basava Kalyana in the Bidar district of today's. And this Anubhava Mantapa and the great work done by Basavanna is still relevant today. As many of you would know, very recently there was a bust of Sri Basavanna that was inaugurated in front of the British Parliament. Because the truth of the democracy is really in the way Basavanna's Anubhava Mantapa was conducted. So this is the context for our today's next character, next Rishika. In India, there is a wonderful tradition of enlightened beings. So we are all really lucky to be part of India, where in every street, in every village, in every place you go, you will always hear about that or this saint or the wonderful realized master under whose guidance that particular place or the people are living. And this has been irrespective of the caste and the creed and the gender. However, if you see our popular literature in the recent past, you'll mainly find male enlightened beings. And this is again one of the wonderful insight that Prabhuji gave us. In our Vedanta study circle, he encouraged all of us to start looking at life of great Rishikas. So in Light of the Self, we have this Vedanta study circle where we meet and we discuss, we take up a particular scripture, and under the guidance of Prabhuji's talks, We discussed that. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. You have to listen to the truth and you have to contemplate, Manana, and you have to hold on to the truth. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. So for the Manana and Nididhyasa, the study circle approach is an excellent approach. So over the last quite a few months, all of us are involved in looking at the life of many great masters, Rishikas. So right from the Vedic period to the contemporary period, if you look at our current society, Mata Amritanandamayi is a very great and wonderful example. Sharada Amma. So like that, there are so many. And in that lineage is Akka Mahadevi, a realized master in her own way. So just to give a little bit of a story context to today's discussion, Akka Mahadevi, she was born in this place called Udutadi, which is in today's Shivamogga. She was a great devotee of Shiva. And right from childhood, her approach to life and her attitude to life and her activities were unlike any other child. She was not at all interested in playing with the usual dolls and all those other kinds of things that typical children are involved with. Right from childhood, she was showing the divine inner light in her conduct, in the way she used to treat others. And she was very beautiful to look at. And the Maharaja of that place, Kaushika Maharaja, he fell for her beauty and he really wanted to marry her. She initially rejected, but he persisted. So, under the guidance of her guru, she decided to marry him, but he told him that truly I am already married to the great Shiva. What is this marriage? We will discuss that in her next vachana. But she said, I'm truly married to that Shiva. So you should conduct with me as if we are two respectful friends. If at all, whenever you try to possess me bodily, that is the end of our marriage. With that condition, she married him. But of course, he could not hold on to his promise. And that gave lot of worry to Akka Mahadevi. And she decided the best way to help this king learn is to teach him the great truth. So one day, she removed all her dress and in her birth dress, she went out of that marriage. So our today's main discussion is starting from this context. So now she is traveling to Sri Shailam, where she wants to merge with the great Shiva. And on the way, she has heard about Anubhava Mantapa and the great spiritual gathering that happens in Anubhava Mantapa. And she wants to be part of that Anubhava Mantapa and meet Basavanna, Allama Prabhu, and all the so many other Sharanas who are there. Because it is like when you have tasted the sweet, you bring others also to taste that sweet. And in their togetherness, that sweetness somehow amplifies. Example, yesterday we all celebrated Guru Purnima as part of our Light to the Self Foundation's celebration of Guru Purnima. An excellent and a wonderful gathering of so many of the satsangis. And somehow, in such a satsanga, there is so much of lightness, laughter, freedom that you don't feel in any other place. So you want to be part of such gatherings again and again. With that feeling, today she wants to be part of that gathering. However, Allama Prabhu has other plans in his mind for her today. She is a realized being. But the world looks at your outer form, your outer conduct, what dress you wear, what you are doing, and world decides so many things about you. So there are so many stories about her. So today, Allama wanted to show what a wonderful jewel she is. So what is that? What is that jewel that he wanted to bring out? So that is the focus of our discussion today. So for that, first we need to understand a little bit about the difference between a Jivi and a Jivan Mukta. An enlightened being, Jivan Mukta or a Jnani, and a one who thinks, I'm a Jivi, I'm a person. What is the difference? A Jivan Mukta is free from all kinds of identities, false identities. When you look at your life, you get recognized by your name, your relationship to somebody, maybe mother, father, daughter, son, brother, sister. Then there are so many other identities, usually as adjectives. Oh, you're a very intelligent person. Oh, you're a very beautiful person. Oh, when you sing, it's like cuckoo bird. So like that, so many identities get attached. So a Jivan Mukta has realized through a clear inner vision that he, again the word is limited, he is just to refer to that being, is not necessarily a reference to a gender. So Jivan Mukta is free from all such false identities. Whereas a Jivi still thinks, I'm a body and I'm a mind. Oh, I'm a male or I'm a female. Or I am intelligent. I am daughter of so and so. I'm son of so and so. My wife of so and so. Oh, I am angry. Oh, I am sad. All these are various kinds of identities that you get into when you look at yourself as a body and mind. But the realization of the great master is you are none of this. You are the pure awareness, the one who is lighting this entire object, the mind, and all the objects. So a Jivan Mukta is free, therefore, from the ego. What is ego? Aham Akara. You know who I am. That is what ego is. I am. There are so many things that you say about your body based. I am. You say so many things about your relationship based. I am based on so many things about the qualifications, so on and so forth. All these become, who I am. When I ask you who you are, you use one of those references and you say, I am such and such. This is what is ego. Aham Akara. Aham Akara. So it is truly this Aham Akara, or who I am, that blocks one from realizing their true self. So Jivan Mukta is free from such Aham Akara, Ahankara. So when that Ahankara has vanished, how is the conduct of such a being? Like Basavanna Vachana said, live your life, treat the others as if they're yours. So a living master is a living embodiment of such a feeling. Around such a living master, there is genuine love. Love that is not based on body. Love that is not based on qualifications. Love that is not based on money, power, position. Pure love. And that pure love expresses around the living master. Whereas for a Jivi, it is still me and the others. Oh, this is all my family. I love my family. I don't necessarily like the other family. So there is still a me and the others. Maybe at most my family or maybe my community. So there is still a siloed thinking. There is still a sangha. There is still a sangha. Sangha means what? A group. A Jivan Mukta uses the memory. The mind has four functions: mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Chitta is the memory. So mind, one of the function is memory. So for a Jivan Mukta, he uses the memory functionally to know what things are, to remember some facts. Whereas a Jivi gets used by memory. They look at a person walking in front. Oh, they insulted me the other day. Today I am going to insult. So where is the insult? As memory. So a Jivi still is getting used by memory. So today, right now, who is in front of me? That person is totally a different person. But because of the attachment to the memory, a Jivi gets bound by memory and uses memory, gets used by memory. Unlike the Jivan Mukta, who is able to simply use it functionally. So therefore, Jivi becomes a prisoner of karma. I am the doer and I am the one who is to enjoy the fruit. And therefore, whenever I am the doer, there is both so-called a positive and a negative fruit that can come. When I receive a positive fruit, I become happy. When I receive a negative fruit, I become dissatisfied. Whereas a Jivan Mukta is free from such a bondage, because Jivan Mukta has realized he is not anything, he is no body, he is pure awareness. So this is who Akka Mahadevi is, a Jivan Mukta. So now, from outside, how to recognize a Jivan Mukta? Look at her, she is not wearing any clothes. Look at her, she ran away from her husband. Look at her, she was the wife of a king, but now look at her, she's running around as a nomad. What kind of a woman is she? But what Allama Prabhu wants us to see is an inner realization. So next are some series of questions that Allama asks Akka, and her response is what we should focus on. So the first thing that comes typically in our society, when you are a child, who is your father? Or when you're grown up, usually, who is your husband? So in this great gathering, in the Anubhava Mantapa, now Akka has come in. Allama is not yet giving her the recognition, is not yet giving her the respect that she deserves, because he wants everybody to realize what a great being she is. So he is asking questions. Who is your husband? And Akka, look at the wonderful answer she gives. Akka says, you know what? My husband is Shiva. And I became the wife of Shiva because my guru, as my father, offered me to Shiva. When you look at it, it is like a typical, oh, there is Shiva, there is Akka, and Guru asked her to do the puja of Shiva. But the deeper meaning that she wants us to get is, who is Shiva essentially? Shiva is your inner self, Atma, the one which is not changing. Even when you are a little baby, or in the teenage body, or in the today's body, something which is able to see all the changes that are happening to this body, something which is seeing all these changes happening to the mind, that unchanging. And that unchanging is referred here as Shiva. And it is the Guru's words that helps to recognize that Shiva as the unchanging, as that Atma as the unchanging. And I, here Akka is referring to herself as a changing phenomena. Guruve Tettiganada, Lingave Madhuvaliganada. Anu. I. Madhuvanagittiyadenu. I became the bridegroom. So as the changing self, I offered myself and I realized my husband is Shiva. So this is a wonderful way to realize that your true nature is that unchanging Shiva's nature, and the changing part is all that you see as your body and mind. So marriage is just a symbolic marriage here. Symbolic. It is not the marriage like we see outside. It's a symbolic marriage. Where is the movement of the Shakti? It is in the mind. And where is the mind? It is in the awareness. So it is in the awareness that a thought raises, and because of the thought, you become aware of the existence of the mind. And it is in the same awareness that the thought subsides. So it merges back. So this is being referred as the marriage. So therefore, Akka says, I am not really this body or the mind. I already have realized that my true nature is Shiva. I am Shiva Swarupi. So therefore, if you ask me, because right now I have to give an answer as a body and mind, the answer is my husband is Shiva. What a wonderful way by which she is giving an answer to who is your husband. Something beyond the social constructs, opening the deepest layers of the truth. But Allama, was he satisfied with her answer? No, because he wanted to show more and more to the Sharanas who were around there. Just by one question and one answer, though he realized her reality, he wanted the others to see. He wanted the others to hear the truth. Oh, Akka, you are only talking. Anybody can talk all this. Have you truly dropped your attachment? See, though you have removed your clothes, but look at you, you still are covering your body with your hair. How can I really recognize that you dropped your attachment to your body? How can I know that? And what Akka says is, you don't have to look at my outside, because the attachment or the detachment is not truly outside. It is truly what is inside. And the inside you cannot really see. So she says, Kaya karrane kandidarenaya. Whether it is black or white or beautiful or ugly, how does it matter? Kaya mirrane minchidadenaya. Even if it's shining, how does it matter? How does it really matter? What truly matters? What truly matters? Antaranga Shuddhavada Balika. What is truly important is that my mind has to be purified. It has to be purified of what? All the great masters give us that clarity. What is that that really blocks us from realizing our true nature? It is the thoughts of anger, stress, hatred, revenge. All this, what we can call as the Asuri Swabhava. What are these Asuri Swabhavas? These are nothing but the thoughts in the mind only. So there's a wonderful little story that many of you may know. A little son, a little grandson was talking to his grandpa. And the grandpa was saying, you know, grandson, there are two kinds of wolves in your mind. One is a good wolf, kindness, love, truth, courage. Another is a bad wolf, anger, irritation, worry, stress. And the grandson was really perplexed. Oh, grandpa, are both of them in my mind only? Yes. Then the child got a wonderful question. Grandpa, but if those two are there, like the fight that happens in the world, good and bad, are they also fighting? Yes, yes, they are definitely fighting. Then grandpa, who wins? Grandpa, who wins? Grandpa says, oh, my lovely child, the one wolf that you feed the most wins. What you feed, what you think, what you constantly contemplate on is what you become. Antaranga Shuddhavada Balika. Chennamalikarjuna ಒಲಿದ ಅಂಗವು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದರೇನಯ್ಯ. It is the inner self, it is the antakarana, it is the mind that needs to be purified. That's why great masters always say that leave all this anger, worry, jealousy, drop them, because your true nature is already divine. You are that divine light of the self. But what blocks us from realizing that is all these worries, all these thoughts. We look at the world and we see the world of duality. We see somebody who said something which we had taken as an insult some time back. And we see and we say, oh, such a bad person. We see so many events happening in life, calamities, or various human wrong activities like rape, murder, terrorism. And we get so bogged down by all these various events, and we think, oh, the world is full of good and bad. And in my mind, I also see sometimes I'm so good, nice to others, sometimes I'm so bad. All these jealousy, tension, worry, anger, they're all coming. How can I be that pure self? No, 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 not at all possible. So that's why great masters give that purify the mind. And here Akka is also giving us the same message. Antaranga Shuddhavada Balika. And how to purify the mind? Sadguru Seva Satsanga. Prabhuji has given us this very simple message. Sadguru Seva Satsanga. It is through the Seva, a selfless service, that the Chitta, that is the Antakarana, the mind, inner instrument, can be purified. And it is in the Satsanga, like this wonderful meditation study circle, in the Vedanta study circle, it is in the Satsanga of the realized beings, in the company of the Sadguru, that the mind can be purified. And when the mind is purified, you will see your true nature. So Akka is saying, it is not something that you receive from outside. So therefore, my attachments, I don't have to do anything to the body. It is not that body I have to drop. I have dropped all my impurities in the mind. It is in the mind that I have become purified. Antaranga Shuddhavada Balika. So how outside doesn't really matter. Why are you looking at the outside? So when the inner self is purified, when the inner mind is purified, then you see your true nature. Channamallikarjuna Olida. Then who is there? The divine self only. And here Akka is referring to that as Channamallikarjuna. So Allama still wants to probe further, because he wants to make sure that whoever is listening to this knows what the truth is and the path to the truth. Like any great master, truth cannot be given to you. Only the path towards the truth can be pointed at. So he again asks a pointed question. Akka, you say you have dropped your attachments. Good. But how did you really do it? Is it so easy? Is it as easy as you saying that my antaranga has become Shuddha? Is it as easy, as simple? Look at this wonderful vachana. So Akka is saying, Angada Bhangava Linga Sukadinda Gelide. Manada Bhangava Aruhina Mukadinda Gelide. Jivada Bhangava Shivanubhavadinda Gelide. Prabhuji has a wonderful way of putting these truths in nice little rhymes. So this entire vachana can be understood in the simple rhyme by Prabhuji. Service purifies. What is service? Whatever you do with a selfless attitude, with an attitude of how can it be the best that I can give to the others, is an attitude of service. So service purifies. What does it purify? The body? No, it purifies the mind, antakarana, because it is the impressions that come and create various kinds of doubts, confusion. So that impressions have to be removed. Impressions have to be purified. Service purifies. And in such a purified mind, when the right jnana, the truth given by the Sadguru, the jnana clarifies. Because ultimately, that I am separate, that I am different, that I need to realize that I have to understand about God. All these are various kinds of questions in the mind. And it is in the intellect ultimately that this realization has to be very clearly realized. So it's the jnana that clarifies. But for jnana to clarify, the mind has to be recipient of the jnana. So service purifies. Service purifies, jnana clarifies. And there, truth is eternally shining. So that's why great masters give many simple examples. They say, you are like that diamond which is just covered with the soot. You're already the diamond. You're not going to become a diamond. You're already the diamond. Just that the soot has to be removed. And how the soot can be removed? Through the service and the jnana. And that is what the path Prabhuji has also given us. What is that I have to offer? What is that I have to really let go? We go to temple and we give money, we give naivedyam, so many things. But what is the true thing that I have to give to realize my true nature is all these what can be called as asuri swabhavas, anger, pride, ego. And when such a thing is offered, then in the satsanga of a Sadguru, in the seva attitude, when I start living my life, and when I listen to the words of the Sadguru, and when I contemplate on that, then the truth shines. And that is what Akka is also telling us here. Angada Bhangava, this body's attachment, I was able to overcome. Linga Sukadinda. Here Linga Sukha is the attitude of the puja. And the attitude of the puja is not just about, in the morning I go to the temple or in my God's room and the puja that I do. It is the puja or the attitude of the puja in every activity. Angada Bhangava Linga Sukadinda. Manada Bhangava, the knots in the mind. Granthi. Manada Bhanga. There are so many knots in the mind, so many confusions, so many questions. Manada Bhangava. Aruhina Mukadinda. Through the right jnana. Through the right jnana given by the right master. Aruhina Mukadinda Gelide. Jivada Bhangava. I am a limited being. That limitedness I was able to overcome because of the Shivanubhava. when that Anubhava, when I realized that I am no separate from that self, from the divine self, my true nature is Sat Chit Ananda, Satchidananda Swarupa. That is Shivanubhava. So that Anubhava, that Aparoksha Anubhuti, that glimpse, that inner sight, that helped me to drop my limitedness that I am a mind and I am a body. So therefore, what you are seeing from outside, ಜವ್ವನದ ಹೊರ ಮಿಂಚಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಿಂಗೆ ತೋರುವ ಕಾಮನ. So you see this beautiful young body. This young body is just a suttu aruhida bhasmava nodayya. It is like a burnt ash. You're seeing this body as if it is a thing that is worthy of wanting to grasp or wanting to possess, but it is nothing. It is jada. So it is bhasma. No more there is any attachment to this body. Kamana kondu. I have already overcome all these desire. So therefore, this is how I overcame my attachments. So with these kinds of insights that Akka gave, everybody was mesmerized with the inner clarity that she had. And that is when Allama also, so if you see here, this is how a typical Anubhava Mantapa setting was. Allama used to sit at the top and the conversation used to happen like a parliament. So Allama walked down and he announced to the whole gathering, this is the greatness of Akka. And through this samvada, Allama and Akka have left us the great insight towards the inner truth, towards Advaita. No two-ness. Advaita, no two-ness. When I look at the world, there is me and the others. But that is only because of the thoughts that are blocking in me. And when I realize that it is the thoughts which are changing, that I see my true self. And there are no two. And that is the Amrita Tattva that this simple conversation gives us an insight into. Like this, in the Sharana Sahitya, there is a wonderful treasure of so many truths for a beginner, for a sadhaka, for an advanced sadhaka, and truly in this conversation, we see the qualities of a Jivan Mukta. So this is the Advaita Amrita that I felt I wanted to share with this wonderful gathering. With this, I would like to conclude my talk, and I would like to ask if there are any questions or anything that anybody likes to share. Please, you're welcome.
I am Janaki Ram.
Yes, sir.
The talk was very, very elucidating. My clarification or what I am also thinking, you said no, Savana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana also has to be done on the state of affairs every day when we see the paper. You said such a guru lineage, such a guru teaching, but there is a wide variation of every day we read in the newspaper which pains us. I don't want to go into all the details of groupism, casteism, and people do not seem to have any faith in the afterlife beyond this body, mind, and intellect. So, how do we really change this?
So your question, sir, is a belief about afterlife is needed, without which how to transform people. Is that the question you're asking? Is a belief
Absolutely.
about afterlife is needed in order to transform? Is that the question, sir?
All of Gita first with Krishna, Arjuna, he starts with only about the soul and the afterlife and repeated afterlives, and before he comes to the philosophical discussions. So there is no faith in the people about karma and afterlife.
Sure.
What was Basavanna's focus on that? Maybe you can share more on that.
Sure, sir. So see, therefore, the truth of whatever the great masters are sharing is not just about afterlife. So in fact, when it comes to afterlife, there is still a belief that there is an afterlife. When you really look at it, there is nobody who has died and gone to some place called Swarga or Naraka and come back and saying that, I saw this or saw that. At the end of the day, the simplest question that you and I can have is, right now, there is certain experience of life that is happening. In this experience, what is the changing part and what is the unchanging part? And whatever that is changing. So for example, somebody comes and says, you know what? I went to this place and I ate this thing and it was so nice. So I went to that place, I ate something so nice, is something that is a changing experience. Because when you're not in that place, when you're not eating that, then that experience is not there. So therefore, the question is more of, how do I, in my day-to-day experience, realize what is the changing and what is the unchanging? So the changing, whether it is a place called, say, for example, right now we are all in Bangalore, a place called Mysore or Hubli or USA, or a place called Swarga or Naraka, they're all something where there is a feeling or a thought that I have to travel. Whereas the realization of the great masters is, you are that unchanging. And it is not a place or a time when you have to travel to in order to realize that. So the whole misunderstanding or the confusion in life is because of this lack of clarity about what is changing and what is not changing. So therefore, the question has to be sharpened here. Rather than putting the fear of the afterlife, it is very simple. Whether I want to talk about it as the word called karma, very simple. What I do to others happens to me. If I stand here and spit at the, let's say, the sky, the spit will fall on me. If I stand here and throw a stone, the stone will fall on me. If I want a mango fruit and if I put a chili seed, I will obviously get a chili. I will not get a mango. So what I sow is so I reap. So therefore, I don't necessarily have to put a fear of the afterlife to help somebody to become oriented in the right direction in life. Simple day-to-day commonsensical observations, and that is the greatness of the Vedanta, can help deepen this. And that is the way in which Basavanna also conducted. Just a moment, my battery is running low here. So if you see this, Basavanna doesn't really talk about any kind of a afterlife, doesn't really talk about fear of afterlife, what may happen. Simple day-to-day living. How to live day-to-day in a way that it is already in tune with the divine understanding. Ivanarava, Ivanarava, Ivanarava. There is another, there is another, there is another. And that is a feeling that separates me from the other. And that is the one which causes all sorts of tension, worry, anger, irritation. It's the other who insulted me. It's the other who made me angry. It's the situation of life. Oh, what if government did not do this? Then my life would have been nice. So it's always the other who's causing a tension, turmoil in my life. So therefore, Basavanna is giving a very simple, practical, commonsensical approach. Iva nammava, iva nammava, iva nammava nandanisaya. Live your life with an attitude of all are mine. All are mine. It is my family. So then your life is sorted. So therefore, it is not necessarily the fear that I want to imbibe in the others about afterlife. It is simple day-to-day living through which they will transform. Keep your back erect. Nididhyasa is about having the right truth in the mind. In our mind, we have so many thoughts that come and go. There may be thoughts related to my position, my various situations of life. All these are coming and going. Nididhyasa or Vedantic meditation is where you hold on to the truth, a thought of the truth. So today, in the Brahma Jnanavali, we saw a wonderful shloka. So once again, I'm just going to recite that shloka. And that is the truth that you can contemplate on. And what is that truth? Antarjyotihi, Bahirjyotihi, Pratyakjyotihi, Paratpara, Jyotirjyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi, Atmajyotihi, Shivosmyaham. Who am I truly? I am that supreme light. I'm not a thing. I'm not anything. I'm nobody. I am that supreme light. The light of the awareness, which is shining on the world of objects. What I see as the world is nothing but sensation appearing as thoughts in my mind. All your life, you've seen the world as nothing but sensations appearing as thoughts in your mind. And who's shining light on these objects? You. And whatever you've been thinking all your life, you've always thought in your mind. And in whose light are you seeing all this? It is in your light. One of the drishtanta, or the example given, is that of the Nataka Deepika. You see a drama on the stage. When you're seeing the drama, you're so enamored by the emotions and the situations that the characters are going through. But fundamentally, that whole drama cannot be seen if there was no light on the stage. Nataka Deepika. So realize you are that light. You are that light who's shining on the world of objects. Shining on the thoughts that appear and disappear in your mind. It is that light that illuminates all the states of your beingness. When you're awake, when you're dreaming, when you are in deep sleep. It is in this light of awareness that you're seeing the drama called life and going through various changes called as waking, dreaming, sleeping. But you are beyond that. You are that light. Shiva Swarupi. Shiva, not a thing. No thing is Shiva. But it is that divine light of the awareness in you shining as the Atma, Atma Jyoti. So in any situation of life, you are this Atma Jyoti that is shining the light on the situation. Holding on to this truth is Nididhyasa. Gently become aware of your breath. Become aware of your body. Become aware of your surroundings. Let us chant. Nanu, nanembudu, nanalla, ideha, manabuddhi, nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivananu Nane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham.